Welcome to Dunk, baby. We're talking all basketball today. The Lakers versus Nets. The Nets, can anybody beat them? Russell Westbrook is looking like Russell Westbrook again. And we're going to talk a little bit with Zion. Now that the Nets have assembled all the Infinity Stones, does anybody else have a chance? They're looking like Thanos out here.
I don't know. I'm kind of the opinion of, I'm sure Blake doesn't feel this way about himself, and I think he can actually be quite effective for the Nets. But you know how he said, hey, am I washed or is this unfair?
For the last couple of years, all I've heard is how bad I am. You know, you sign with this team, everybody's like, that's not fair.
I totally see where he's coming from there, because if you look at Blake and LaMarcus, like, what do they both have in common? They're both really great players that probably came into the NBA about 10 years too late for their skill levels to be maximized. And they both play similar positions. So taking two guys like that who have never really made it that deep in the playoffs for reasons that are actually have very much to do with their games, I don't think that that's necessarily like a recipe to success. You also only have a little bit of time for guys that have traditionally been pretty high usage to find a low usage effective version of their game in the middle of a season in a pandemic, while they are sharing probably the exact same minutes because they are very similar players. I don't know if it's like, oh man, look, like the Nets are unfair, you know, like I actually think that it's maybe taking away minutes from more effective playoff players.
I think it solves their issue with size. You know what I mean? So they do have size. I don't think they'll be able to be as effective on the Nets because there's just not enough balls and they're not important enough. You know what I mean? To run it through them. They have three of the best playmakers in the game, if not the three best playmakers in the game on their team and guards. You know what I'm saying? I would like them to have not gone to the Nets for the same reason you didn't want to go to the Lakers. You know what I mean? But I do love Drummond on the Lakers because we don't need him for points. We need him for rebounds to stop possessions early. Things like that, or to add possessions for us on the offensive end, and he can do that in his sleep. I love what he brings to the Lakers. I think the Lakers have a chance. The Nets give me very 2004 Lakers vibes. You know what I mean? They give me, they got a couple of players past their prime. You know, they seem very stacked and they're chasing the chip. And the Lakers could be the Pistons in this situation. Didn't they get beat by the Pistons, right?
It just works. Like, it gives them a smarter element of what they had with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee last year. Like, he's definitely a lob threat.
Without all the antics.
Yeah, he can also pass those lobs up to AD because he's really smart. The things I like about the Nets, they still exist. I worry about them actually going away because of them having to give these guys minutes. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not freaking out about these signings.
Russ definitely has stats. This dude is filling it up right now. 19, 19, and 10, 42, 10, and 12, 35, 15, and 3. What the? Like, we thought he was washed at the beginning of the season.
Yo, Russ is back. Russ is back. Russ is like Houston Russ.
What is this?
Yeah, I'm talking to you through kaleidoscope glasses. Because that's how much Russ is blowing my world right now. Yo, he shouldn't. Okay, I'm taking this off. But yo, for real, he shouldn't be able to do this anymore. He really shouldn't. He looks like how he looked pre-bubble, pre-coronavirus in Houston. I love watching Russ when he's playing like this.
I love that Russ never cares what anybody says. And he's still going to be himself, whether he's, playing great or not. He approaches the game the same way. And it's just like that dunk that he had. Come on. I mean, the absolute disrespect. When Russ is playing good, he has big, how are you even on the same court with me vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love that about Russ. But it's great to see Russ. It was hard watching him at the beginning of the season. I mean, people were saying he was hurt. Maybe to have his win because of Corona. I'm just glad he's healthy. I'm glad to see Russ being Russ again. He's one of the most fun players to watch when he's being himself. You feel me?
Really exciting guest for you guys over here. We're going to be talking to Zion Williamson, who has an exciting new game he wants to tell you guys about. Maybe you can play it with him. Okay, it's working. I'm going to blame you for every miss because it's technically it's you shooting.
That dude is a bucket.
You got to make this, Zion. What the hell? You got to make those. So one thing I really wanted to ask you is, everyone talks about how if you played football, you could have played like any position, you could have done this, that, and the other. But you grew up in South Carolina. You grew up in a football state. So it seems to me that there's a version of your life where that could have easily happened. Why did that never happen?
That never happened because, unfortunately, my high school did not have a football team. So I never got to even try it in high school. We want to check this score. Says I'm in second.
Wow. It turns out I'm pretty good. Like, it seems like you take stuff from football. Like, you change angles without much space. And honestly, like, I feel like you kind of break tackles to get around. Like, is there anything you take from there?
Yeah, I take a few things. Like, I think it's just my instincts, but I think I do take it away from football because I love watching football. Like you said, it's the low angles, making the proper cut when you need to make it. So I'm not like charging anybody. I'm kind of drawing a blocking foul, or I'm putting them in a position where they either have to foul me or they have to let me go. So yeah, I take that part from football.
What made you fall in love with basketball? What's your favorite thing about it?
Honestly, it was a kind of a love at first sight thing for me with basketball. Ever since I started playing it when I was 4 and 5, it was just something about playing it. Like, I played other sports for fun, like basketball and soccer for fun, but it was something about playing basketball that just I wanted to do it year round. I wanted to do it all day, every day, and I still have that same love for it to this day.
When was the first time a crowd went crazy for you?
In my stepfather's summer camp he used to hold in Sumter, South Carolina. I was like 8. And I think for kids who were like 9 and under, he would kind of lower their goals. So I got a steal, and it wasn't a regulation size hoop, but I went up and I dunked it. And like the whole gym just like started running on the court, jumping on me. Like, oh my God, like he did it. And I'm 8 at the time. I don't care that it's not a regular size hoop. So I'm over here like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, that was me. So yeah, I'm gonna say that was the first time the gym went crazy for me.
I feel like you get a lot of energy from crowds. Obviously you don't have that this year. So I was wondering where you've been trying to get your energy from this year.
My teammates. My teammates are always on the sideline, and whether it's one of them or all of them, somebody is saying something that's like getting me hyped. Whether it's Z, I don't see nobody on that court that can guard you, or Z, you playing right now, like you letting them do that to you. Like, it's the smallest things that get me going. I'm like, say less.
Last question I want to ask you. Last week, Rick Carlisle basically called you Shaq with point guard skills. A lot of people have been coming up with names for what your position exactly is. Do you have any names? Have your teammates come up with anything? Is there anyone that you like particularly?
That's Zion. That's it. I think when my mom gave me that name, that was the perfect description. That's him. I am him. That's Zion.
I think that's a great place to end it. Zion, thank you so much for hopping on Dunk Bait here. Good luck with the rest of the season, and everybody else, go play this game. It'll be your best chance ever to play against Zion and maybe beat him. I don't know, maybe I was a natural. I'm not sure what it was. But thanks again, Zion. We appreciate you.
All right, that is the show, right? Is that the Dunk Bait? Are we done?
Is that the show?
I think that's the show. I think it is. I'm LaJethro Jenkins.
I'm Seerat Sohi.
Y'all be cool. Peace.